Welcome to the Suffolk Walking Festival podcast, where we guide you around the footpaths and bridleways of Suffolk to discover what makes this county so very, very special. I'm David Falk, the director of the Suffolk Walking Festival, and in each episode of this podcast, I'll be meeting someone who shares our passion for walking in Suffolk. In this episode, I joined Jayne Lindill, the editor of the Suffolk Magazine, for a walk by Trimley Marshes Nature Reserve. Jayne, thank you very much for joining us on the Suffolk Walking Festival podcast. We are at Trimley. Is this a place you know quite well?
This is virtually on my doorstep.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Trimley Marshes, the Trimley estate. It's a beautiful place to go walking. There are no major roads or anything, so it's very safe for families. I bring the dog here all the time, and it's bounded by the beautiful River Orwell, and also a bit of the coast, around by the port of Felixstowe, so it's got a bit of everything. It's
brilliant. I did another episode on the other side of the port of Felixstowe at Langard, and it's a complete contrast to that side. We're just the other side of all the cranes and the docks and stuff, and you could be in a completely another county almost. It feels so different.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? And I've also been over to having kind of like walk envy here, aren't we? I've been over to the Shotley side.
Oh yes.
And of course they just, the cranes loom up in front of you over there, and actually you're closer to the port than you are here.
It's strange,
weird.
Isn't it? And we've got wonderful sweeping views down to the River Orwell that you mentioned, which I thought was quite apt for meeting you. We'll talk more about your job and what you do, because the River Orwell's got very strong literary connections with George Orwell, and we've got a lot of agricultural fields by the side of us, and we're going to go for a walk. Now, I think you can from here pick a whole host of different trails to follow. There's footpaths everywhere and bridleways. Trimley Marshes Nature Reserve is about 2 and a bit miles away, so I was going to suggest something different, if that's okay.
Go for it.
So, according to my OS map, there's a place called Christmas Yards Woods.
Oh, wow.
I know, it sounds fun. I'm expecting elves in sort of workshops and reindeers.
What, a man with a big white beard?
Yes.
He might be there.
He might be there. Well, it's appropriate because it's the docks, you see, so it's easy to get the Christmas presents distributed around the world, you see. That's what I was thinking. So we'll have a look down there. And it's also next to the Fagbury Cliff, so I thought that might be quite interesting to wander down there. So it's about a 2.5 mile walk, so we'll head down there and see what we see as we go.
Perfect. Let's go.
Jayne, we've just stopped to admire the view. We've got sweeping views over farmland here down to the River Orwell, and you can see Trimley Marshes in the distance there, and then across the river to Essex as well. I was thinking it's a really good walk, this one. If you don't have a car or you don't want to use the car, you can do this one quite easy.
You can get the train to Trimley from Ipswich.
Just up the road? Yeah,
just up the road. You hop off it and you're literally, a couple of 100 yards down the road and this walk starts. So yes, definitely. Really
easy one to do, and it's making me think there's quite a few walks around the county that are like this, in the sense you can get the train and do them.
Yes.
Have you done any of the East Suffolk Lines walks?
No, I haven't, but we've featured them in the magazine, quite a lot. So, and those I must do those.
Yeah, and that you walk station to station. So, you get the train to Beccles and then walk to Hellsworth and then get the train home again. I did a fantastic one years ago where, not on the East Suffolk Lines, but it was beyond that. It was up between Lowestoft and Somerleyton.
Oh, how nice!
Somerleyton, you get off at the station there. The train departs the station. Everyone sort of waves at you, leaving you behind on the platform. It's got a real lovely feel to it. And you look across out from the station, and you're just looking across wet grasslands and farmland towards the River Waveney. It's absolutely spectacular.
Oh, that'll be the first one I do then.
I'll show you. I'll tell you where it is and where it goes. And then from there you follow the Angles Way back into Lowestoft to Colton North Station, which is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, sounds beautiful. Yeah, I must do that then.
Tell me a little bit about the magazine. What type of magazine is it, the Suffolk Magazine? How would you describe it?
I would say Suffolk Magazine is, well, we try to be lots of things to lots of people, but we are a magazine to really celebrate the best of what Suffolk can bring you, showing you all the things that can help you lead the best life you can have in Suffolk, really. So it's about getting out and about, it's about visiting places, finding places you might not know about, eating and drinking, beautiful homes, things to make your, how you can create the home that you really want in the county. Just a bit of everything.
It's
really.
Always packed with so much information. I'm always really impressed that you find so much each month to write about.
I'm not going to take all the credit for that. I have a fantastic group of freelance journalists who are passionate about writing about the county, who've all got their own individual interests and love writing for the magazine, and I'm so lucky to have them, and they bring me all sorts of ideas. I sometimes have ideas and throw them at them, and they grab them and run off with them and do things, and so it keeps it lively, entertaining, and really informative. I've learnt so much from doing the magazine and knowing those people, frankly.
And the people you have writing for you, so I mean, they have extremely strong backgrounds, don't they, in journalism and in writing and playwriting and stuff?
Oh, they do, yes. And some of them have come off national publications and have made their homes here. Some of them have been here all their lives and have worked for the local newspaper, as I used to. But they've also got this great knowledge, either because they've studied it or because they've just acquired it, of the county, of its history and its heritage and its wildlife. So when you're out walking, walking just takes on a totally different meaning when you know a little bit about the plants you're looking at and the wildlife, and you know what to look for. It just comes alive.
I think you're right. It literally brings it to life, and it makes a walk much more meaningful. I know I've walked with people who are, say, archaeologists, and they look at the landscape in a very different way to, say, a bird watcher. I've walked with bird watchers who are almost walking with their ears more than their eyes sometimes, because they're listening for everything.
Yes.
But it does enhance a walk if you can recognise the sound of a bird, or you recognise a tree, for example. It makes it more exciting, I think.
Yes, and the archaeology thing, I mean, looking at the landscape and knowing, that what you're looking at on the surface, it's got something different underneath. I mean, that would be amazing.
With the magazine, I especially enjoy the food and drink section, by the way.
Don't we all? It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
I've been inspired many times to go and visit a place because of that article, which is
That's
really good. The other feature that you have in there, which I know very well, is of course the Walk of the Month feature.
Yeah.
And you do that, don't you?
I've just taken it over, actually. So I felt like we need to refresh the magazine sometimes, and I just think it's because I'm so interested in it and I do it in my life anyway. I thought I'd like to take this on, and it's great. I mean, I'm just gonna love exploring all these different places and showing them to people and giving, hopefully they'll get out there and have a look at them too.
Jayne, we've just got to a T-junction, and it tells us that the nature reserve is 1.25 miles to our right, down a wide track. And I have been there. You must have been there as well.
I have, yes.
It is lovely, isn't it?
Yes, it's quite a ramble down there. It's a sort of straight. I don't know what it was. It must have been an old road or some old. I don't know, because it's so straight and seems so deliberately placed.
Yeah.
But yes, the reserve is really nice. Great viewing of,
It's great.
It's got some record for the number of grey lag, I think it gets. Yes.
I didn't know that.
There is it's very rich with wildlife, with bird life down there.
There's about 3 or 4 hides, isn't there? You can sit in them. I think they're lovely, actually. They get more and more birds each season, I think. They've had more things arrive in. Lots of egrets now, and herons and things like that, marsh harriers as well.
Yes.
And then you can go on the riverbank wall and you can get these wonderful views over the River Orwell.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, across to the Shotley Peninsula and beyond. It's a fantastic place.
And if you go beyond it, I've walked on towards Levington and Leverton Lagoon.
Yeah, Levington Lagoon and Lumpit Lake on the way as well.
Yes.
That's full of bird life as well. Swans and.
Is that where they've got all the cormorants?
Yes, it is. And you see those coming over. Actually, in fact, the few flew flew over just a little while ago.
Right,
we were chatting. Great flocks of them come over here sometimes.
Yes.
And you can hear them, and you hear their wings, and sometimes you'll hear them, talking to each other.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
There's so many there. I've been down there, and the trees. Some of the trees look white, and it's the birds. It's because they roost in the trees and stuff, and all of the droppings and stuff. It turns the trees quite white. The guano, it's like guano. Go and harvest it.
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
And then you can do a loop. We're not going to do it today, but you can do a loop from Loonpit Lakes and then come back through woodland, back to the car park where we started.
Yes, you can. I've done that actually with the dog once, and it is a really, really nice walk, and it takes you through the hinterland, if you like. But it is beautiful. The Orwell is a really beautiful river.
Yeah.
And I think we underappreciate it, really.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's just a sensational river, really. Lovely estuary, and very rich in wildlife, bird life, all of that. I mean, we're not seeing any at the moment, but there are deer. There's lots of deer here.
Right.
And the chances are, if you're here in the evenings, you'll see some deer, and it's quite a big herd, and you'll see smaller groups of them. And there are 2 albinos at the moment,
wonderful.
which are lovely, and
magical.
Yeah.
Magical. But you're right about the river. It's well used, isn't it? You see yachts going up and down it, and boats and stuff. And you can do cruises, can't you, from Ipswich Docks?
Yes, you can. Yeah, all the way out to the heads, or whatever we want to call them.
Yes, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So now we're not going to go to the nature reserve because we've done that before. I like the idea of Fagbury Viewpoint. It conjures up all kinds of images in my head. But we'll go and check out what it's like, see what the view's like. I've got high expectations. We'll see if they're met or dashed.
All right.
Jayne, I think this is Fagbury Point.
It is.
Or Viewpoint, or Cliff they called it. If you're into containers and ships and cranes, this is pretty cool.
This is the place to come. It's got it all, hasn't it?
It's a bit of a contrast to where we just were, but there is a viewpoint. It's actually really tidy as well. I'm quite impressed at how clean and neat and tidy it is. Not that it shouldn't be, but it is quite clean and tidy.
Yeah, it's well maintained, and they've very thoughtfully chopped out the vegetation in front of us so we can see everything. But I mean, it's actually, if you live around here, this is actually part of life around here, the port, and it's fantastic that it coexists with all the wildlife around it. And in fact, as we were saying earlier off this, that actually Trimley Marshes Reserve wouldn't exist without the port, because it was all created as a result of that. So, which is just a gain, isn't it?
All of the land here is owned by an estate, and you're right. The development of the port and the growth of the port has gone hand in hand with the development of the reserve next door.
Yes.
So the two coexist, and the wildlife on the reserve is extraordinary. And here we are, right next to a busy industrial site. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And actually, I've stood here in the evenings watching all of this going on with the twinkling lights on the cranes, and it's actually compelling. You can't take your eyes off it.
I love watching the containers. Actually, we can see them now being lifted off the ships. I find it fascinating.
Yeah, and they do some incredible number, like I forget what it is, like 7 a minute. No, not right. That's wrong. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it is some sort of incredible turnaround. But also working out, how do they organise it all?
The logistics.
You're going to put your containers there. You put your containers over there. Green ones go here. Red ones.
Would you colour code it if it was you?
Yeah, if it were me, I would. Yeah, I would.
I do wonder that sometimes, if they want the container that's at the bottom of the pile, how does that work?
Yeah, you might get somebody who's a little bit that way inclined. You might want them alphabetical.
Oh, don't! I'm liking this. I think that's a lovely. Let's reorganise it. We'll get in touch with them. I have a work colleague from years ago whose daughter actually was doing a project, and she was allowed to go up inside one of the cranes to the very, very top.
Oh, wow!
Which I think would just be bliss. I think they should do that as a guided visitor experience.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
I'd get the first ticket. But
look, beyond the containers and the cranes, what do we look at over there? Is that Harwich?
Yeah, we can see Harwich.
Yeah, there you go.
You can see right across to Essex on the far side in the mouth of the river. So yeah, I think it's really exciting actually. And I know in Shotley they've been building new houses, and one of the lures of buying a house there is that you are looking onto the docks. You can see all the activities. So it's a real draw for people.
It is. It's part of life, isn't it? This This is our stuff that we want here.
Well, just the other
this
side.
Is how we get it.
This is. I know. We're looking at containers that are full of TVs and microwaves and whatever else are in them today. And just the other side of the dock here, there's the cafe, the Viewpoint Cafe. Yeah. Which I think is one of the most popular, busy cafes I know anywhere in Suffolk.
Great fish and chips.
Is it? Right, what time is it? Is it lunchtime? Yeah, I'm hungry now. But no, it is really popular, and people love sitting outside that and just watching the ships. It's fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's a thing to do, to come down to the Viewpoint and watch the big ships coming in and out. And you can actually get hold of the list on the web or in the local paper, and you can see what's coming in.
There's an app that tells her which ship is which, where it's from, where it's registered, what it's, how big it is, how many containers are on it. There's a fantastic app. It's free. You can download it, and you can sit outside the Viewpoint Cafe and spot the ships as they come in.
That's amazing.
Might not appeal to everyone, but we love it.
I don't know. That car park's always pretty full.
It is. Jayne, we're just moving away from the docks behind us. Probably can still hear them in the background because they're doing some construction. But we've just come into this little patch here, which is lovely. There's big old oak trees, I think they are.
Yes, they're very old, aren't they? This is the Blowfield track, which will take, if you leave from where we're walking towards now, as you come from the railway station, that is Searson's Lane or Cordy's Lane, and then if you walk down here, it will take you all the way, of course, down to the docks. But this little bit, I love this little bit. It's full of, as you say, these lovely old trees, oak trees, that I don't know how old they are, probably 200-300 years old.
Easily,
some of them are looking a bit worse for wear, but hanging in there, aren't they?
Yes.
And there's woods around. There's lovely little silver birches which have obviously been planted fairly recently. But if you come here in the evenings, particularly, the muntjac come out.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're almost tame, some of them.
Wow.
And they come out and graze, and we see around here there are muntjac, there's fallow deer, and I've seen some roe deer, I think.
Oh right.
But yeah, it's lovely. And owls. There are barn owls here as well, and tawny owls, which you can hear, hooting away.
These are the sort of trees that you kind of look at and you think, I wonder what's in that hole there. You sort of imagine there's an owl sitting in there somewhere, just hiding away. But I imagine watching us, yeah. But yeah, I agree. I've been up here at dusk and seen barn owls flying around. It's been magical.
Yeah, it is fantastic. I've got. I love art, and I bought this painting around about Christmas time. Not going on holiday, so spoil yourself with something else. And it's by an artist called Gary Cook, and I got it from a gallery that I know called Sea Pictures in Clare.
Oh, I know. It's a lovely gallery. Beautiful,
Sarah and Alaric Pugh, and she alerted me to this because she knows I'm a walker. And Gary Cook used to be the senior artist for the Times for 26 years.
Well, I'll be.
And he paints these gorgeous paintings in watercolour and ink and charcoal of trees. And if you're a walker, or if you just love the countryside, you'll love them because they're so atmospheric. And the one I bought is called 700 Years in a Field.
Oh wow.
And it's a painting of a Wardour oak from the Wardour estate, and it's what he does also is he overlays it with these very fine ink lines of the insects and things that live in the trees.
Oh, fantastic.
And on the back you get this envelope with this description of what you're looking at, and he gives you all these details of how many species the tree supports and all of that.
Oh, wow.
And he also gives you the map references for exactly where your tree is.
So you can go and have a look?
Yeah. I found that fascinating, and it's something that appealed to me as a journalist because it's just so rich in information. It's more than just a picture.
It's the life of the tree.
Yeah.
They're stunning. It's amazing, isn't it?
700 years, I mean,
wow.
You've got to think about that before you cut it down, haven't you?
Jayne, we've wandered into a small woodland area, and if you carry on this track, I think you just go more and more and more into the woods. And they're farming just near us, they're tilling the fields in case there's some background sound. But I wanted to ask you, you're the editor of the Suffolk Magazine. How did you end up becoming an editor? Have you always been in journalism?
I have. I trained with the East Anglian Daily Times when I left school and worked on the paper, then took off, travelled a bit, lived abroad, and came back in 2004, hopefully to a job, and actually came back to the East Anglian Daily Times. And then after about 4 or 5 years, the opportunity came up to edit the magazine, and I've been doing that now since 2011.
So, over 10 years.
Yeah,
well, nearly 10
this
years.
is my 10th year, in fact.
10th years,
yeah.
Yes. And you contribute obviously yourself to the magazine. You write, but you do write as well. You write plays, don't you? You have written a play.
I've written a play, yes. I've been involved in community or amateur theatre for a while now, and I thought I really ought to do this because I'm just curious about what writing a play would be like. So yeah, I wrote a play called Surge, which was about the 1953 floods.
Oh, the famous floods, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and the East Coast floods, which I've always been fascinated with, growing up as a child in this area, and it was something that my parents talked about, my grandparents, and it's such a big part of our history.
Yes.
And it occurred to me that I think it was the 65th anniversary of them, that someone who would be born in an event like that. That's fascinating to me as well, that we report these events, but we never take any notice of the tiny things that are going on at the same time. We only talk about it in terms of big events. And so I thought, well, that person's now turning 65,
yes.
Going through more changes, leaving their job possibly. So I spun a story around that basically.
That's
and we performed it in about, 5 or 6 locations. It went down really well.
Fantastic.
People were really interested in that historical element, and a lot of people, of course, came because they got some personal involvement in it, either their family or that they were mixed up in it themselves.
It was a major event. I know there's a pub, isn't there, down at Felixstowe ferry, the Ferry Boat Inn.
Yes.
With some fantastic, amazing photos on the walls in there.
And a tide mark showing the level that the water actually got to, because the ferry is very low lying and was inundated. So in fact that's pretty well where I set my play.
Yes.
And there, and also the other major location for it, which was the whole Langer Road area going down towards the port of Felixstowe.
Yes.
And those houses were seriously flooded and damaged, and there are photos of people sitting on their roofs waiting to be rescued. And that, those things stick in your mind, don't they, when you see them?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, very evocative.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to do another play, or?
Well, I don't know. The first one was we'll see. I've got 1 or 2 ideas in my head. But I think that I think we've got to wait and see what happens to theatre. Really, we're living in strange times.
Is that your first sort of love, as it were, theatre? Is that what your love is, or?
Beyond my love of Suffolk, I suppose. Yes, but I love live performance. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
It's got the power to connect with people in a very special way, I think.
Jayne, you do the Walk of the Month feature, and we were talking about that before. Has that sort of allowed you to visit places in Suffolk that you'd never seen before?
Yes, it has. To my great shame, I'd never been to Argyfen.
How dare you?
I know. I have no excuse.
What did you think?
Oh, it was sensational. I love bluebells.
Yeah.
Because they're so uplifting, aren't they? Just at the time of year when you need that hit of something, they come out.
Yeah.
And
it's quite heady there, isn't it? I find the smell of the bluebells is really it really hits
it's
you.
Hyacinth, isn't it? And I love the way the stitch work, just little white heads poke through.
Beautiful.
Anyway, I went there for the last one, which I've just been writing about, and Argyfen and Spouse's Vale, and wandered through there, and went beyond the reserve and up towards Assington and Assington Mill, and then came across the carving of the dragon on the hill.
Oh, you saw that?
Yes, and it was just such a surprise to me, because I hadn't looked it up beforehand that I was going to see that. I thought, oh my goodness. Yes.
There's a dragon on the hill.
There's a dragon. I knew about it, and I thought, it's here.
So for people listening who aren't quite sure what we're talking about, this is sort of the grass is mown, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Into the shape of a dragon.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And it was done for the Queen's Jubilee the Silver Jubilee, I think.
77.
Yeah, well, maybe no, 2012. It was done for that one.
Okay, yeah. Right, yes.
And it, of course, tells it's yes. in relation to the legend about the dragon of Bures in the 15th century that's supposed to have surfaced, and everybody brought out the local knaves who got their spears and went after it, and it disappeared into Wormingford Mere, never to be seen again. And everyone called it a dragon, but it's thought to have been a crocodile which had escaped from the Tower of London, was a gift to King Richard from the Saladin from the Crusades.
Right, yes.
And they used to give kings these sorts of gifts. It had been kept at the Tower of London and had escaped and made its way around the coast and got upriver and
to Bures. I believe it.
And if you actually go to Wormingford Church, there is a window, a stained glass window depicting the whole thing, and there's this. You can see this knight on a charger with his spear, and you can see this crocodile. Well, he's obviously a crocodile with a pair of legs coming out of it.
I love it.
It's like Jaws all over again. It's just lovely. It's
and
just
now
a lovely
immortalised in this image on the hillside.
Yeah, that's
wonderful.
Right. But anyway, yes, that's a long way of saying that. Yes, I do. It does show me places of the parts of the country parts of the county that I haven't been to, haven't seen. And when you're walking, of course, you see them in a different way, don't you? Because you can get into little places that you can't get to with a bike or a car.
That's true. And you discover also, I think, sort of the stories behind the villages, and Suffolk, being that we've got this rich Anglo-Saxon history and everything, is full of stories, really amazing stories that come out.
Yeah, like the one I've just rambled on about. Yes, but it is. Yes, and if you're from Suffolk too, which I am, it kind of like grounds you. You sort of have this sense of belonging to the landscape a bit, and you realise that you are just sharing it with others, with other things. Not just human beings, but animals and birds and insects.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by all the stories that you pick up as you go around the county. And you go to a village that sort of, on the surface, looks, quite interesting and quite normal, but there's amazing stories that sort of lie below it or behind it.
Yes, and churchyards are a great place for that, aren't they?
Well, we recently did a project with Great Livermere Parish, which is over near Bury St Edmunds, and part of the work I do is produce in circular walk leaflets for people that live in villages. So the leaflets are done with the parish council, and we did this circular walk around Livermere, and I'd never been there before. There's the most beautiful mere, so shallow sort of lake, full of absolutely full of mallard ducks and other wildfowl as well. But the walk starts at the church, and the church there is fascinating. And buried just outside the south door of the church is a man called William Saker, who was the falconer to Charles I, Charles II, and James I as well. There's just the amazing stories of these people that have had these amazing lives and they're still remembered in these locations in Suffolk, which I find fascinating.
And of course, I suppose the mere. I suppose that's where Great Livermere gets its name.
Exactly. Yes. Which
is another aspect of it, isn't it? The names that we've given to places because of their associations with people and places. But Great Livermere also has a lot of associations with M.R. James and ghost stories and so on.
Yes, which is fascinating. And there's a big hall there where Robert Fitzroy lived, who was the captain of the Beagle. Right. So there's all this history there. He also, by doing the leaflet with the parish, I discovered that Robert Fitzroy was also the man behind the Met Office. He created weather forecasting as a way of protecting shipping fleets that were going off and to stop them getting caught up in storms. And the legacy of his work and coming up with shipping forecasts was the shipping forecast we have today and the Met Office.
How extraordinary.
I know, all there in Great Livermere.
See, now I'm going to have to go to Great Livermere.
You will.
I have not been to Great Livermere. I'm going to have to go there now.
Go to Great Livermere. Jayne, you once said to me, you may forget this, but you once said to me that people who come into Suffolk from outside tend to stay in the county and never leave, which is me, and people who lived or were brought up in the county sometimes leave, but they always come back, which is kind of you. Why do you think that is?
I just think there is something about Suffolk that's got, I don't know, it's just something that you put down roots here, don't you? And I think it's because it does have this quiet sort of sense of who it is. We never shout about it, but we're funny people. I mean, we're shy, but we're also we'll be as friendly as you want us to be, but we'll also leave you alone.
I find that a lot, actually.
I think that's why it attracts a certain kind of celebrity, you know, because they know they can come and live here and no one will bother them. Actually, it's peaceful. It's relatively undiscovered, although becoming more so. But I do feel that the people who discover it are very protective of it,
I agree.
are very careful about it, and do understand what special place it is. And you can wax lyrical about it forever and a day, but I do think it's true. It's just got some sort of, I don't know. I mean, having gone away and come back, I found that Suffolk has changed a lot, mostly for the better, actually. But also, it's so reassuring that so much of it is unchanged. And it's that continuity and that sense of belonging, which I don't know. Maybe if you, as someone who's come here from somewhere else, do you feel like you belong? You know, and have we made you feel that way?
I think after 20 years, I do.
Well, that's better. It used to be 40, so that's an improvement.
Jayne, thank you so much for joining us, or for allowing me to join you on a walk around Trimley. It's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you very much. Good luck with all the magazine and all the articles
that you
do. I'll continue reading it. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Are you off to edit more this afternoon, or?
I am. I'm off to plan the next issue, and well, thank you. This has been really, really great fun, and it's been so lovely to talk about, you know, the place that I love so much.
That's great.
So
Well, thank you very much. I'm off to get some fish and chips, I think.
Good for you.
The Suffolk Walking Festival is one of the country's largest and longest running walking festivals. The festival takes place every May with over 100 walks and countryside events across the county. Visit suffolkwalkingfestival.co.uk for more information and follow us on Facebook for up-to-date news. Thank you to David Stainer and Scott Dolling of the duo Silbury Hill for the use of their music in this podcast.